It's 888 and you are listening to The Beef on WSOS FM Southside Chicago, your source for all things Black Hawks, Black Bears, Black Bulls, Black Wave, you Blacks, and of course, the Black Sox, who just finished the season on a burner. A 7-game winning streak, only 2 losses in their last 14 games, 15-8 for the month of September. This included a sweep of the Omaha Cyclones to creep up to 4th place in the Heartland. Nasty Boy Hines came alive as well, and he finishes with a 13-8 record. A good start for his tenure with the Sox. Lots of room for improvement. Bobby Sherman looked good finally. Mejia continued his emergence as a closer with 7 saves in the month of September. You know, he might get the coveted closer conversion in the offseason. We'll see what Vinny and The Rock have in mind. Now, this was all in September, mind you. But before I get into the weeds of it all, I want to bring up to the mic a man who's been patiently waiting to make his return to the voice of the Southside since his short stint at the Labor Taste, Joe Melucci.
How you doing, Beef?
Now, before the love fest for the Black Sox gets in full swing, and before my callers call me on it, I can already see the haters on the chat. I'm talking to you, Southside Sally, always quick on the chat, appreciate you. I do have to mention that while the Black Sox were doing exceedingly well, you, kind sir, were not. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, sure. I collected only 6 hits in 45 at-bats. I extinguished my fair share of rallies. I own up to it. Not exactly the month I had been preparing for.
Okay, that's fair. You've taken your lumps. And we're not here to castigate you. I think your honesty, your forthrightness, that's one of the things we love about you, Joe. I do have to say, one of your hits was a 9th inning home run to tie a game the Sox would eventually win.
Credit the Rock. He kept me in the lineup. We've had our disagreements for sure, but Rock's an ex-player. He's experienced what I've been going through.
Uncertainty with the contract situation.
Yeah, I could see where I've been pressing. Trying to do too much. My strikeout rate skyrocketed. An overabundance of will. Not enough restraint. Not enough focus. Frankly, not enough bat speed.
There's only so much that a Jakulu practitioner can do about aging, am I right? I mean, you are speaking with the uninitiated.
Well, there's actually quite a lot, but as it pertains to trying to hit a 97-mile-per-hour baseball with a bat when you're 37 years old, I credit Jakulu for the hits that I did get. The focus and anticipation and intention required at the plate.
Well, the team as a whole did well, and you are part of the team. And you gave the fans something to be happy about, something to talk about over the winter, and something to look forward to in the spring.
My own performance notwithstanding, it was a fun time at Vinny Vital. Amazing energy.
Let's talk about the young guys.
Well, Kyle Beers. Kyle Beers has been great. Injury replacement for Hashim, and he never looked back. He was in single A just last year. Jumped up to AAA Rockford and seized the opportunity. 19 home runs in 112 games. Slash 280, 320, 470. Another young guy is Marcos Echevarria.
Marcos Echevarria, yes, 24-year-old catcher from Nevada. 7th-round draft pick back in 2057.
It's one of the reasons we were able to trade Tatlock. Yeah, he's just excelled at every level. And the majors is no exception. He hit over 300, slugged over 550, has a cannon for an arm.
What about the pitching? Last time you were on, we talked about Sasadri and Montañez.
Sasadri's a good kid. They both are. There's a lot of pressure on those guys, especially Dart Topman. He was the first draft pick from the new manager. Dart Topman will probably go to Devlav. Lots invested in him, sticking up here, but it might just take as long as Bobby Sherman took. Fang, you know that's Sherman's nickname, right? Everybody wanted Fang to come up and pitch lights out immediately. But it hardly ever works out that way, even for first rounders.
Does Sasadri have a nickname?
Dharmatma. It means righteous soul.
Is that a Jakulu thing?
Nah, it's more of a Indian classic movie thing. We got to talking about old movies and
What do you think the Black Sox are going to do in the off season? What are you looking for in the off season?
well, before we go to the off season, I'm looking to enjoy the Memorial Series. I'm hoping Tatlock comes back from injury, hits a few.
I don't think the Bluebirds got Tatlock really for his hitting. They just need him to frame pitches and throw runners out.
True that, he's the best in the business in that regard. But yeah, the Black Sox got a few decisions to make. They have to find out who's going to take their option.
I imagine the team's going to keep Burnham.
For
There's
sure.
a team option on him.
Oh yeah, one of the leaders of the team. Hit 7 homers, 9 stolen bases, all last month.
What about you, Joe? Are you cleared to say anything? Give us a hint about your future?
Technically, no. I'm a free agent, actually, as soon as the memorial's done. But since I do all my own negotiating, I can tell you that I'm trying to stay in the game, whether or not it's on or off the field. Whether or not it's in Brewster's or in the GBC.
It could be right here at WSOS.
Thank you, Beef. I appreciate that. I'll take that into consideration. My aunt was a journalist up in Fort Edward. She was the writer, editor, typesetter, podcaster of the Fort Edward News.
It might run in the family, Joe. You are listening to The Beef, 888 WSOS MM Southside, Chicago, The Beef. When we come back, we'll take some calls and get to the questions on the chat.